It's another special episode of Revelation Resolve, and if you're wondering, it's still your boy MTK. Special freaking episode, guys. Today we are focusing on Hollywood. There's a movie that came out, incredible spectacle. After watching films for such a long time, I've kind of become this, I don't know, detached in a way, I've it's really hard to actually find something that actually just like intrigues me and actually captures my entire attention. Plus, there's this thing like instant gratification, because now we've come to appreciate very very short content, like short videos, like your 3-minute videos, your 1-minute videos. So for me to be so excited to be talking about a movie is actually really fucking special. This movie ran over 1 hour and I was totally intrigued. And for the most part, it clicked in my mind. It clicked. I was like, what the hell is this movie talking about? You know? So without spoiling it for you guys, the movie talks about, in my own perspective, by the way, it's actually, is it sci-fi horror? I think, yeah, it's sci-fi horror. Title, it's Backrooms, starring Jiwatel Ejiofor. I don't know how to say his name properly, but he's a renowned actor. He's always been in our screens, providing stellar performances. And in this one, he's fucking murdering his American accent, because we know he's a British actor, but he's playing the role of an American man trying to make ends meet, running a business, an architect, but he works at a at a furniture store. So one of those days he just realizes something. It's like he can walk through the wall. But in my own understanding, I feel like this movie is talking about spiritual alignment. And it's like he walks through this wall, and then there's like another actual, like, parallel reality to the one that he had been had 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 had, had been accustomed to, had become accustomed to. you know it's crazy to him. It's like exhilarating for the most part, just like how it is with everybody that awakens. When you go through a spiritual awakening, it's actually nerve-wracking, it's exciting, and you can tell the character, like, running out of breath. It's just how exciting um this new discovery is to him. you know so, and then while he walks around trying to find his feet in this new reality, there's an actual rabbit hole in the actual reality. A rabbit hole, like we are told in the Matrix, in the movie The Matrix. you know there's a moment where Morpheus asks Neo if he wants to learn just how deep the rabbit hole goes. It happens like that, and he continues to bring other people, and then they explore this rabbit hole. But it's freaking scary what happens next. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. And then, like, this guy gets consumed by this. It's like he's changed now, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but there's another character that goes through the rabbit hole, and this is the character that actually lives to survive the whole thing. And then she bumps into authority within this freaking new reality. There are people out, like, there's big corporate out there that is studying events, blah blah blah. And I'm like, definitely big corporate has always known about spiritual awakening. Just the other day, yesterday actually, I was speaking to a friend of mine who's in the military. This guy was telling me about how effed up it is in the military. It's freaking effed up out there, man. Like, there's so much misinformation. Like, a lot of news outlets that tell us things that happened in times of, WAR, in times of war. When there's actually a war breakout, like, just like how in Congo right now, M23 is fighting, the state of Congo. you know, like we were talking about how these guys are actually supplied by like bigger their organizations pulling the strings behind, you know, closed doors or behind the curtains. There are people that are pulling the strings that are making sure that the war wages on, you know, because they have interest. And you know, the only time, you know, to actually have advantage over the enemy is if you can separate them. So now that Congo is fighting, you know, there are people that went into Congo. Now they are fighting Congo. It's so easy for white supremacy to reign supreme and do whatever it is that they want in Congo, you know. So me and my friend were talking about this, and it's crazy just how much is going on out there that is misrepresented by the system, you know, by big corporate, by like news outlets even. They are giving us false information. They are giving us false freaking information, and wow, guys, like now I'm not gonna be trusting anything that is delivered on the news, because my friend tells me that, you know, like the news actually tries to control the narrative. Just like how I've been suspecting that we are living in a filtered reality, guys. This is not the real version of reality. But I understand as a leader myself that you can't share everything with everybody, you know. You have to control the collective. But I feel like a lot more damage is being done because it's too much, the controlling. It's too much. But anyway, as a fellow human being, I'm also thinking like, are people really worth saving though? Because people do crazy shit. Like they don't care. People don't give a shit. Even if you can help them, they don't care. They still will freaking disappoint you. So I'm there trying to think, should I be helping out? I'm really confused. But check out the movie Backrooms. From me, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. It was really entertaining. Really, really entertaining. From the word go, I was like, you know, Dango. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And stay tuned for another episode.